take care of some initial setup in two places, peardeck.com and Google Slides. This will need to be done only once. Please go ahead and click on the link for peardeck.com. Now that you have gone to peardeck.com, please select Teacher Login. If you are prompted to select an account, make sure it's your GHSD account. In the top right-hand corner, you'll see your email address, your avatar, and a little crown on top of this. It means that you have the premium account. You'll see a little drop box. Please select it and go to My Account. What we will do now is go over to Settings. And we're going to do a few one-time setup items. You may use these features or you may not. If you have it set, at least it's there for you to use if you'd like it. The first item is Google Classroom. You may choose to have students access Pear Deck via Google Classroom, which may be a place where you have them do their work anyways. If so, turn it on. If you find that you don't really use Google Classroom in this way, then you can go ahead and keep it off. The second item is Classroom Climate. When students start their presentation, they're automatically going to be asked how they're feeling. The idea is to get students thinking about their work and thinking about how they feel about it, and it gives you some feedback as well as far as the mood of the class. You can choose between mood and or feedback, so you can select whatever you'd like. Finally, you have takeaways. When you're done with your presentation, what will happen is takeaways will publish a Google document of every single slide that you presented, as well as for each individual student, their responses to those slides. Please note that this will not give students right or wrong answers, so students may need to check and look at their work a little bit later on. However, you can now use your presentations and their feedback and their input as part of further assignments if you'd like to use this. Once these items are all set up, we will move on to Sessions, which is located at the very top. When you begin presenting your Pear Deck, it will actually be presented from within this site. You'll see a date and a time when something has been presented. You'll see a status of the presentation, and you'll see some other information here too. Please note that there are some things that are called unnamed sessions. When you close a presentation, you have the option to name it. Since you will likely be making the same presentation several times a day, include something like the date and the class period in the session title. That way, it's easier for you to find your particular presentations for a particular class. You'll notice some icons to the right of everything. The first one is Classroom View. If you'd like to, you can actually resume a presentation. Say maybe you got almost done with a period 2 class and you want to come back to it the next day. All you would have to do is go to peardeck.com, click on it, and it'll be right back where you started from. It saves all the information for the students from the previous day. The next icon is going to be the teacher dashboard. What you can do is go back to any presentation that you've done with a class, and you can see whatever the student responses were for any of the slides where you asked for it. So maybe you want to review something that came up in a previous day or something that happened last week because you're thinking about it. Well, now you can see this work. Lastly, these 3 dots will give you more choices. You could choose to turn on the student paced portion of Pear Deck. What this means is students can go at their pace and they can go ahead and respond to and interact with your presentation. This may be useful as a homework assignment. This might be a good way for students who are absent to at least be a part of what you had presented to the class. Or this might be a good time for a review, where maybe you give students 5 or 10 minutes to go through the presentation, you lock it down, and then you go forward and talk. You could also choose to formally end the session, so that way it would be completely done. So in this case, it's live, and it would be turned closed. You can also choose to name the session. So right now it's untitled, so I can call it like period 2 on March 4th or whatever. Or you could also choose to archive it. These settings are available in the peardeck.com.